To get on the river. It's what is it? It's Friday, I think the 26th of October, and this is the start of the most amazing kayaking trip in the history of mankind. Maybe a slight exaggeration. So last night we camped up at Montauk State Park. It's where the river starts. And it got down to about 35 degrees last night, so it's kind of cold. It rained on us pretty much the entire 5-hour drive from Kansas City down here. And once we finally got down here and got to Montauk State Park, we got there kind of late, so we stopped a few times, for gas and lunch and dinner. And finally, once we started to set up camp, it stopped raining, so we lucked out. We set up camp in a really light drizzle and then no rain the rest of the night. So we got really lucky there, and today it's supposed to be sunny and 50. Looks like the clouds are starting to clear up a little bit, so we may have a really good day for paddling. Hope so. Right now it was 34 degrees according to my truck when we came down here. This water is mostly spring-fed water, so it's really cold, so we're going to do our best to stay dry today and every day on this trip. So here in a few minutes we'll get our boats loaded down and be ready to go. We'll get on the water and take off. We're doing about, I think it's 38 miles. We're floating from Akers Ferry here down to Two Rivers, where the Jacks Forks River meets the Current River. So again, about 37 miles. Today we're going to try to get it in about 13, 14. Tomorrow also about 13, 14, and leave about 10-ish or so for Sunday. So that's the plan. Hopefully all goes well. Looks like we should have plenty of water. I was kind of worried it might be low, but I think we're going to be all right. All right, we spotted as a bald eagle. He's sitting there at the top of that tree. Guess you can see him there. Yeah, he just shook his wings out a little bit. Unfortunately, he's got the sun behind him, so he's backlit. You can't see him real well. Oh, there he is. He's obviously not too worried about me. So that's the cave. How cool is that? It's the only cave in the world that you can paddle a kayak into. So here it is, and we paddled into it. Okay, that's probably not true, but it's the only cave in the world I've ever paddled a kayak into, which is about as exciting. So there's John and Steve coming back out. Alright, so now we have come down the river. We're on mile 10.2, and the spring is feeding in here. See if I can get a better shot of it. In here from the river right, it's Pooltight Spring. So we're going to go up to the spring. So this will be really cool. Just right before this, we saw a river otter, and he was hopping around with some rocks, and he had like a fish, it looked like. and I think we got some footage of it. He hopped up, grabbed the fish, and went over to this rock, and there's a hole behind it. He went back in, so that was really pretty cool. That was the coolest wildlife we've seen so far. Of course, the bald eagle is pretty cool. And now we're going to hike up to this spring, Pull Tight Spring. So this is Pull Tight Spring. You can see it originates there at the bottom of this cliff. And water looks pretty still there, but it's cranking the water out pretty good. Alright, so that was Pull Tight Spring. We just walked to the head of it. It's pretty amazing that all this water isn't actually coming from a creek. It's coming from the bottom of a cliff up there. So that was really cool to see. So we're going to hop in our boats and head on down the river. Okay, it is 10 till 4 on Friday the 26th. And we have set up, we found our campsite here and set up camp. We've been here about an hour, I would guess. My little tent here is the blue one. John and Steve are sharing bigger green and white tent over there. So I went and gathered some firewood. Got that mess of firewood over there, and I don't know where John is. Maybe in his tent, but every once in a while here, I see him back there. He's gathering firewood also, that's what I guess. We're up to. Like I said, it's 10 till 4, so we got a lot of time this evening to get our fire going, have dinner. I say that. The sun sets at 6:15 tonight, and it'll be dark, fairly dark by 6:30, so we don't have a ton of daylight left, but we do have plenty of time to get our fire going, make our dinner, and I'm going to purify some water. I'm sure the rest of the guys will. Alright, it's time to make dinner. Got the stove going and boil some water. Looks like tonight we're having chicken and rice. So we'll dump the water in the bag and let it set for, I think it's about 10 minutes. So this is probably the highlight of the camping trip. Get to build a fire. We just got it going here, so it's not too big. But got enough firewood, we'll be able to get a good fire going. I started to get up here. I noticed that the dew on the inside of my tent has frozen. You can see the frost there on my sleeping bag and some ice there on the inside of my tent. Alright, we are getting on the water now, as you can see. And I think everyone has frozen hands because we had to put on our wet gloves. I forgot to bring my neoprene gloves and put them under my vestibules, so they were frozen this morning. So I had to put my hand in frozen gloves, and my hands are freezing right now. So, but we got the sun starting to come up. It'll warm up quickly. Yeah, get your camera ready. They're swimming towards you. Alright, so right back there we saw 3 river otters. I was shooting a video of them. I'm not sure if you could see it. Alright, so I found this cave along the river here, and we're going to hike up to it. Well, it's kind of hard to see. That's about it. Oh wow, yeah. Didn't see that it went on back. I thought it stopped right here.
Wanna go first with your camera?
Oh, well, yeah. Shit. Thanks. Wow. This goes back a ways. Although I think we found the end of it. Unless you want to crawl.
Nope.
So we are about 29 and a half, 30 miles into our trip. And got this really cool bluff here. Alright, so John found this cave. It's across the river from our campsite. Hopefully you can see there are 2 bats hanging from the cave roof right there. Don't know if it'll come through on the video or not. There's one right in the middle of the beam there. One right in the middle of the beam there. Hopefully that'll come through. That's pretty cool. It was pretty obvious there were bats when you see the bat poop on the ground. So. Looks like John went and got us some firewood. He had it strapped all over his boat there. Alright, it's Sunday morning, and we have our tent all broken down here, getting our boats packed up. John and I are packed up, ready to go. Steve has already taken off downriver to get in the sun. So it's me and John here to load our gear up and go, and we are getting ready to get on the river. It got a little bit colder last night. The temp sensor said it got down to 20 degrees. You can see there's still kind of frost on there, and everything that was left out. So anyway, we're getting ready to get on the water and finish the last 6 or so miles to our takeout, which is 2 rivers, and then head on